Greg, you played at the UW, you've been a commentator, you worked at the university, you know that program so well. How do you evaluate Chris's 6 years at the UW? Will he be a Husky Hall of Fame member one day? Will he be a National College Football Hall of Fame member? Just give me your takes on those questions, but give a little evaluation of Chris Peterson's 6 years at Washington.
Sure. And let me just say, I did predict that the Huskies would be a Rose Bowl caliber team last year. And keep in mind, the loss against Oregon and Cal and Utah all very easily could have been Husky wins. They were leading most of those games into the fourth quarter and had some defensive breakdowns near the end of the game that cost them. So they very well still could have been in the running if it weren't for just a few plays here or there.
Sure.
Coach Peterson, I think, one, you do have to just thank him for what he did for Husky football. Husky football had really, taken a slow slide that turned into an avalanche at some point under Coach Willingham. And then gradually Sarkisian helped put the pieces back together. But Chris Peterson actually made the Huskies cool again, and culminating in his, I believe, third season that the Huskies were playing in the national playoff in 2016 in the Final Four of football, as they call it. And jumped out to an early lead against overwhelming favorite in Alabama. So I think looking at it from that perspective, you have to think that he did a great job, and Husky Nation owes him a great, great deal of gratitude for just making Husky football cool again. He hired some great coaches, and now I think having the opportunity to have Coach Jimmy Lake take over as head coach, again, is some part of his legacy that he left behind. And hopefully the program is in really good, steady hands, and Jimmy Lake will be able to, with his energy and enthusiasm and love for the program, take it to that at least the same level where Peterson had it humming at for a while. He also won two Pac-12 championships, regular season and the Pac-10 12 championship game. So again, a lot of good stuff that Chris Peterson did for the program. He also elevated recruiting. I think our recruiting rankings over the last several years have been some of the highest that it's ever been as a program, making, especially on the West Coast regionally, the Husky program as a destination for some of the top players in this side of the Mississippi River. And, even dipping into Texas, I know it's still west of the Mississippi, but dipping into the fertile recruiting grounds of Texas here and there, and getting some big-time players out of Utah and, of course, California, and sort of returning some of the panache to, if you're a great player from Washington, you don't have to go out of state. A lot of our kids escaped to Notre Dame and Stanford and some of those other places for years, and he made it cool for those guys to stay home again. So, having said all those things, I would give him a grade of an A in what he did. I would say, I wish it would have been a couple years longer, maybe 2-3 more years.
Sure.
Here would have submitted him as a Husky all-time great Hall of Famer. And I'm not saying that he isn't, but I think that would have left no doubt whatsoever. But when you look at him from his career, he's absolutely a college football Hall of Famer. I think his winning percentage is still in the top 5 all time.
Wow.
For major college coaches. I think when he came here, he was like 96-12 all time, something crazy like that. And so he's been successful at 2 big-time programs, and one he turned into a big-time program. And to have success at Washington again, get them back to conference championships, getting them into the Final Four, and making them a premium destination for West Coast football, I think, he's definitely in consideration for a Husky Hall of Fame. And the only reason that might be questioned a little bit is just that his tenure wasn't extremely long.